Okay, here is my challenge, floor 12 clear, and admittedly, this solution is incredibly messy. Those of you watching this video, I promise you, you could come up with a better solution than what I did. You can only use one 5-star on this floor. You need to use 3 or more 3-stars in order to get the full rewards. And you also need to defeat Sven before he or his allies land 7 or more critical strikes, which means if like Sven lands 3 and then his allies land 4, that's 7. That triggers outrage, you will fail. You are on a very, very short clock. This is basically a damage check. Additionally, when we think of 3-star characters in this game, Taranor Guard is usually PvE God. You cannot play him for this because Sven has a passive that makes it so that he reduces dual attack damage by 90%, and he also gets a skill nullifier. You will not win the damage race if you try to play Taranor Guard. So just scrap that idea entirely. That said, the best 3-star damage dealer that's still on the board is Commander Lorina. And admittedly, you could play a better Commander Lorina than mine because mine is on some hodgepodge gear for Katie's. She is incredibly slow. You can play a speed set, attack set, or destruction set one. I'm on rage penetration, and I am dirt slow. I am basically base speed. You can absolutely make a better Commander Lorina than what I am playing here. I don't even have 100% crit chance on my character. I also chose Carrot here because she is a competent 3-star damage dealer. And just like with Violet in the past run, if she gets hit and she's in the front line, it's just free damage with her burns off of her barrier. So why not, right? So other than that, you are simply just going to be going face as much as possible. Try to burst Sven as fast as you possibly can on this character. But do note, you want to try to line up. You'll notice that I desperately am trying to save Clary's S3. You want to save Clary's S3 so that way when Sven is at 1 HP, you can remove his 3-turn immortality. I have chosen Clary also not only because of the combat readiness, the possible defense break at the start of the fight, and the extra healing. I've also chosen her for her soul burn because the soul burn guarantees that the Sven cannot actually resist the strip, and therefore she's basically like my finisher. You'll notice again, I'm holding my S3 as long as possible. If that's going to end up costing you the game, then maybe you might be able to burn it a little bit faster to race the damage and then try to cycle back around to get a soul burn. But always make sure that you have 2 souls in the tank in order to actually soul burn and get rid of the immortality. Also note, you'll notice at the very beginning of this fight, if you scroll back, I don't think I mentioned it. I probably should open with the barrier on DN and not the anti-crit buff because Sven will strip all buffs at the start of the fight. That was kind of my bad. I made this fight have a shorter clock than it probably should have as a result. But otherwise, this is just a damage check. Again, Commander Lorina just feels like the best option because soul burn extra turn, big damage on both her S1 and her S3. Don't really have to worry about the dual attacking issues like Taranor Guard. And then other than that, just play whatever you really want. Anti-crit from Shu or Diane, I think in this case really, really helps. That's something I would highly recommend. Shu, honestly, pretty good as well. If you wanted to play a 3-star healer like Montmorency and just use Shu instead, I could definitely see that working. Not only for the anti-crit, but because Shu does a ludicrous amount of damage. Taking a look at the units here, we'll look at Commander Lorina first. As you can see, I'm on Rage set. I don't even have 100% critical hit chance. You could play Destruction, Attack, Speed, anything with as much damage as you can actually get. As long as you can rotate and get damage at a comparable time, that's fine. Here's Falcon or Clary. You notice mine's really slow. Doesn't even have good effectiveness. You can obviously build a better Clary than mine. Here's my DN. This is my current PvP season DN. It's not even super impressive because DN has kind of honestly fallen off a little bit. And the last one is... oh man, that's embarrassing. Researcher Carrot, right? Researcher Carrot. So the last character is Researcher Carrot. I've given her a little bit of effectiveness. This is for Nightmare mode. You don't actually need any effectiveness whatsoever on this character.